Hey, are you seeking freedom and abundance? The struggle is real. And this is the first video that I want to chat about, like what the purpose of this channel is all about. I've been spending the last 42 years trying to seek freedom, trying to seek abundance, not really realizing that a lot of it was from within. And so what I want to share with you is what I've learned, how I've achieved freedom and abundance in my life. And I want to take you on this journey so that way you can learn the lessons that I've learned and maybe give you a head start to allow you to achieve freedom and abundance. So stay tuned and we'll talk about this. Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Eric and I am your abundant BFF and I am here to help you find freedom and abundance. Now, if there's one thing I've learned over the 26 years of being an entrepreneur and over 42 years of being on this planet is our notion of freedom and abundance isn't necessarily what we think it is. Now, normally when you're thinking of freedom and abundance, the first things that, at least for me, that come to mind is the fancy cars, the houses, the trips, the beautiful relationships and everything. But what I've come to find over all of these years on the planet is a lot of those things are really cool to have, don't get me wrong, but things don't provide long-term happiness. They just provide short-term happiness. Going on all these trips and stuff like that, what I've found in my own journey is I was seeking for something and trying to fill it with a gap by spending money on it. And I don't know if this relates to you or not, but if it does, I've been on this journey. After 40 years of chasing the cars, the house, the relationships, the travel and stuff, I've realized that I really wasn't that happy, and it really flipped a script on my head. Because for years, what we've been taught, especially here in America, is the way to be successful in life is to go to school, get a good job, you buy the house, you get the car, you get the relationship, you get the kids, and boom, you're living this happy picket dream life. Now for me, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 16 and now I'm turning 42. So I am like your abundant uncle over here. But what I've started realizing is as I was going through this journey, as I was chasing the things, these visualizations of what I thought success was, and I would buy the things, the fast cars, the house and everything, I realized that I really wasn't that happy. So I want to tell you a little bit about my journey, and I want to share the stories that I've had and the experiences that I've had over all of these years to help you get a head start and maybe put you on a different level of growth from learning from my mistakes and the mistakes of the entrepreneurs I've mentored and guided from all of these years. Now, after 40 years of doing all these things and running businesses and exiting businesses for 7 figures, all these things, I realized one thing. I wasn't happy. Now, on the surface, everything looked great. Had the house, had a relationship, a beautiful relationship with my son's mom, long-term relationship and everything, had the house, had the cars. Now, I had these businesses. I ran tax preparation businesses in the past, and I was exiting these businesses doing really well. I had a financial planning business in the past. I was in the insurance field in the past. I even had an e-commerce business that did really well. All of these things, right? Like, so on the surface, it looked like I was living this beautiful dream. My son's mom was this massive social media influencer. So we were going to all the right parties, meeting all the right people, living what many folks thought on the surface was this fairy tale, amazing life. But we all know what you see on social media isn't always the actual truth of life. What a lot of folks didn't realize or know, in my actual life, there was cracks coming out of the foundation. Our beautiful house, this vision or image of dream life, was built on sand. I had a lot of past traumas, a lot of past challenges that caused me to do certain things that impacted my relationship. Things like workaholism. My dad, he used to work 70, 80 hours a week and rarely saw success on weekends because he believed in working hard is the way to getting wealth. And I did the same thing, so I wasn't as present for my family. I was also an avoidant kind of person, right? Even though I was running these successful businesses, I was avoidant of conflict because I was afraid of being rejected. I was seeking for validation, seeking for approval. And because of that, the businesses I ran and the life that I led wasn't a life true to who I was as a person. It was always under the guise of trying to satisfy other people's needs. And I don't know if that's relatable to you, but that happens to many of us. A lot of us are chasing for this validation, chasing for this approval. Shoot, I've been chasing for approval from my parents for 42 years. Still haven't fully gotten it, but I've really finally come to terms with it. And I know many of you can relate with that. But the challenge was, as many of us end up going into, I became comfortable with my life. We were making the most amount of income we've ever made in a year as social media influencers. We were doing really well. Again, below the surface, there was cracks. I was in the highest debt of my life because I was living beyond my means, right? My credit was kind of crappy, to be honest. The businesses that I was running were foundationally not built on solid foundation. So I had challenges communicating with my employees, and I was distracted and not able to fully focus on my business. And my relationship with myself was probably the relationship that struggled the most in this entire experience. I didn't have a good relationship with myself. I didn't realize the validation and the approval I was seeking was truly inside of me. So here are the 3 things that I noticed. I was emotionally challenged. I was financially broken, right? I lost my connection with myself. These are 3 things that I experienced in this journey. And these are 3 things that I would love to share this journey with you to help you avoid those situations that I've experienced in the past. Because man, they were painful. I made a lot of money and I've lost a ton of money, right? I've had beautiful relationships and I lost beautiful relationships. And for me as an individual, I've gone through the darkest, deepest challenges I've had, and I've also started coming out of these darkest, deepest challenges. And I firmly believe that we are spiritual beings living a human experience. What that means is we're all sharing these experiences. We're all going through these similar experiences together, but many of us don't realize that there's other folks out there like me and like you that are facing these same challenges. So between the 2 of us, the relationship I had with my son's mom was on the rocks. And like everything else, right, it always takes 2. Never is it just one person causing a challenge. It always takes 2. And I started realizing and started taking accountability for the challenges that happened. And so quickly, the relationship fell apart. She separated, ended up becoming a single parent, moved on to my own place. And I still remember lying in my bed, all alone, looking up at the ceiling, crying and trying to figure out what was going to happen with my life next. And if any of you have gone through a relationship where you've lost a relationship or a breakup or a divorce or even a death in the family, you can relate with this, where you're sitting there and your entire identity has been shocked. My entire system was shocked because of this situation. And when I was lying there in bed, I realized I had 2 paths in life that I could take. Path number 1 is the easy way. The easy way is to go down this depressive rabbit hole, be self-deprecating, go into drugs, alcohol, and all these things, which I see a lot of folks unfortunately do to try to process and drown out the sadness, to drown out the sorrow. That's the easy route. Now I had option 2. Being a single parent, I started realizing that I needed to live a life genuine to who I am, to be the best example I can to be for my son, who's now 17, kick-ass guy, big dude. And I realized that I have this opportunity, this trauma, this challenge, right? This huge upset in what my homeostasis was, this huge upset in what I thought comfort was, to make a conscious decision to become the best version of myself. And this was probably the most difficult decision to make because it's one of the most difficult journeys, to invest in myself, to heal myself, and to be a better person for me before I become a better person for others. Because it's not until you have a good relationship with yourself can you truly have a good relationship with others. But now, 4 years later, after this long journey has come about and I've experienced all the ups, all of the downs, experienced depression, experienced anxiety, experienced the stress, experienced the burnout, and these are all things I want to be able to share with you to help you not have to deal with these mistakes that I've made. But now 4 years later, I'm running an amazing accounting practice, got great employees, amazing clients, making a great income, super happy about that. I'm passionate about sharing this journey and love for entrepreneurship for others. Like, I'm here to help mentor you through this process to understand the entrepreneurship journey. I have this beautiful relationship with myself, which is the most important thing. I got the car, I got the house, I achieved all of the things, but also I achieved all the internal things that I needed. I did the self-development work. I used the meditation, the breath work, the plant medicine, all the things that really allowed me to become the best version of myself. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I am not the perfect hero. Don't put me up on a pedestal, but I have gotten from here to here, and there's still more to go because this is a lifelong journey. But what I would love to share with you is my journey and what I've used, the tools and the tricks and the techniques, but also the mindset and the things that I've utilized to be able to get me to where I'm at. Because truly at the end of the day, I believe that all of us are looking for freedom and abundance. All of us are looking for the ability to do what we want with who we want whenever we want. All of us are looking for the ability to have what we want and to live a life that's true to us without the stress, without the worry of, am I going to be able to put food on the table? Am I going to be able to pay my bills? So now it's time for me to share what I've learned with you. So on this channel, again, I am your abundant BFF. I'm here to guide you through this process, tell you about what I've learned, share some of the stories and experiences and challenges that I've faced, and even some of the challenges and stories that I've experienced through mentoring and guiding other entrepreneurs. Again, I do a lot of financial consulting. I do a lot of financial work as a tax advisor, as a strategic accountant for business owners making $250,000 plus. And I've realized that a lot of folks, even some of the most successful people out there, are dealing with some of the same challenges that we're dealing with, whether it's the feelings of scarcity, the feelings of, am I good enough? Imposter syndrome. All of these things are common experiences as a human. It doesn't matter how much you have or what you've got. All of us are facing the same challenges. So first, one of the core pillars of this channel is to share financial literacy. And I was a financial planner prior to getting into the tax business, and then I've been a tax strategist for the last 10 years. What I started realizing is there's this big disconnect, this big gap between what people are doing in the world and what was taught to us with regards to finances. And the reality is schools don't teach you and I about how to properly manage money. And so there's been a lot of times when I was tremendously in debt, living beyond my means, bad credit, and I was a debt slave. And it's taken me years to kind of figure that out, how to clean up my credit, the difference between good debt and bad debt, how to invest properly, how to put money back into my pocket strategically, how to pay less in taxes, right? Because I feel at the end of the day, the number one thing that causes a lot of us to have stress and anxiety is our finances. So if I could share with you the things that I've learned working with high net worth folks, working as an entrepreneur, and just on my own life, to give you more financial literacy will help you become inherently more abundant and also more wealthy. Next is I want to share what's been going on deep inside of my heart and what's been going on deep inside of my soul. Not in a woo-woo kind of like Eric is this crazy crystal kind of guy, but in a way that's understandable by sharing some of my story. Because I feel it's really important for us to stick together as a community, to work together, to help each other out. And for me to share the stories that I've had, the challenge I've had, does two things. Number one, it allows me to get things off of my chest to share, knowing that I'm helping other folks, but also by me sharing some of my challenges, it may give you this feeling of permission to be able to say, hey, I'm going through that too, and I haven't told anybody about it, but Eric was able to open up about it, so I'm going to open up about it. Because having these conversations, it's what's going to truly help you heal and grow. And as an entrepreneur, what I found with, again, some of the most successful entrepreneurs, some of the folks that are just starting out, is the success of your business is predicated on the amount of work that you do on yourself. I've seen a lot of businesses become tremendously successful in a short period of time, like winning a lottery ticket, but the entire business comes down and collapses within 12 months because their mindset, what they think about money, what they think about approval, what they think about validation wasn't fully, truly resolved inside of them. And it caused the business to either be blown out of proportion, they overspent, not pay their taxes, all of these things. I've seen it all. And these are things that, from the stories that I've experienced, I want to share with you to hopefully not experience those challenges, but also give you permission to share your story as well. I want to hear your story. I want this to be an interactive platform for all of us. Finally, and what I think is most important, is I want to share how I've built a greater and deeper relationship with myself. For years, I've been chasing for validation, for approval from my parents. I've been chasing for love. I've been chasing for this affection from others. Always this chase for this external satisfaction, forgetting that the true love, the true approval, the true validation comes from within. So the final thing that I want to do is share with you what I've used and what I've done over all of the years to help me finally become in greater touch with myself. Because at the end of the day, like I said, your self-work and your self-healing is what's going to truly give you the freedom that you're desiring. It's going to truly give you the abundance that you're looking for, and not just be chasing the rat race like many other folks are doing. If you're like me and you truly desire true freedom, true abundance, not just all the things, not just the material gains. I invite you to stay with me on this channel. Join me on this journey. Don't forget to click the subscribe and like button. And also, if there's any topics you want to talk about, I'm a completely open book, right? If there's anything you want to ask about my journey or my process, put them in the comment section below. I promise you, I'm going to try to respond to each and every question that you provide to me. I want to make this a two-way dialogue between you and I, because I'm committed to your success, and I hope that you are also committed to your success. I look forward to spending time with you every single week. Every single week, I'm going to be putting up videos that are part of my journey, that talk about financial freedom, that talk about financial literacy, that talk about storytelling, talk about the things that I've gone through, and talk about the techniques of how I healed myself. I'm going to share this with you every single week, so make sure you come back every single week to be part of this journey. And again, don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you know anybody else that would love to be part of this community, that would love to hear more about this content, or just needs that little pick-me-up, send them to this platform, send them to this channel, and I hope to help them out as well. Don't forget, your time to achieve the life of your dreams is now. Have a great day.